Okay, here we are mixing Dan's special tobacco mix. What I have right now is nicotine concentrate. This is something we got over in Indiana. It's got 100 milligrams of nicotine per milliliter of liquid, and a cigarette typically delivers on average around 1 milligram of nicotine per cigarette. It depends, of course, on what kind of cigarette it is, how you smoke, things like that. Anyway, for this particular mix, to fill this bottle up, this is the amount of nicotine that the nicotine concentrate that we'll use. This will produce a mixture that's about 14 milligrams per milliliter when we're all said and done. So I have the nicotine in. I've got a computer program that keeps track of all this for me and all the ratios and everything. So I'm going to need 16.2 altogether. I'm going to put in 8 milliliters of vegetable glycerin now, and then I'll put in all the flavorings, make sure it's well mixed. Then we'll put in an additional 8.2 milliliters for a total of 16.2 to get all the percentages right. This is vegetable glycerin. It's so thick that the only way to move it accurately is with a pipette, because like a syringe, won't draw it. The needle's too thin. So you can measure it in drops, but that's not very accurate. I prefer something more accurate like this pipette here. And you just draw it up. When it gets to the 3 line, you can see how thick it is here, how long it takes to draw it up. And we put a little back pressure, hold it at 3, pull it out, bring in some air, transfer it. Oh, there we go. And there's 3 milliliters. Another 3 to make 6. There's 3. So now we will have 6 in here. Astounded me. Now we put in 2, bring us up to 8 altogether. And then we still have to put in 8.2 at the end. I just gotta remember that. There's 2. So now what we have is half the VG and our nicotine at full strength. So that's what we have now, nicotine and some VG. You could smoke that, it would be very, very strong, but it wouldn't taste like much. So we put some flavors in it. Next up would be Flavor Art Cuban Supreme, which we need 2 1/4 milliliters. I always pull up a little bit of air in there, and then 2 1/4 of juice or flavoring. That would be right about there. Go slow with this because you do not want this to spray or pop out. We're in the whole mix. That would change the flavor characteristic of this immensely if, like, just a little bit of this bounced out or didn't get in there somehow. Next up is this Desert Ship from Flavor Art again. It's 2 1/4 milliliters of this one. Here we go. Pull up 2 1/4. Right about there. Looks good. Need 1.5 milliliters of this. Now what? This hasn't got a specific flavor. It's kind of like a flavor enhancer, like what salt or MSG in Chinese cooking would be. It's not actually tobacco or anything. But when you mix it with the tobacco flavors, it makes a very good mix. Doesn't taste near the same without this. I need 1.5. So I'm going to find my halfway mark. 1, 2, and 1/2. There we go. .5 of the Vape Wizard. Don't ask me what that is. These are all food industry flavorings. I always like to see the surface when I'm measuring. Okay, 1, 2. There's 3 milliliters of Tobacco Absolute. It's measured 10 parts pure grain alcohol, 1 part of the Tobacco Absolute that I showed you before, and it has a 1/4 teaspoon of ethyl maltitol crystals dissolved in it. Just so you know what's going into this. There's 3 milliliters of that. Tobacco Absolute. The only thing left is a touch of menthol, and this is is pre-mixed menthol that I bought from a company. You can make it yourself, kind of like I make the Tobacco Absolute. Menthol comes in crystals, and you can dissolve the crystals in pure grain alcohol and make your own. I didn't even need to take that off because this one I do deal with in drops. This is so concentrated in menthol, I just kind of hit it with a couple of drops. This just doesn't make it like a menthol cigarette, but it carries the aroma, I guess, is what it does. It just makes it more vibrant. Without it, it's kind of flat. The flavors are all there, but they just kind of lay there. Stick just a hint of that in it, and it makes everything great. So put the top on it, close it up, and you can see it's not like oil and water, or maybe it is kind of. But once it's mixed, I guess it kind of is. Once it's mixed, it doesn't settle out, but it's always a good idea to shake before you drip whenever you use this stuff. There's 3. Now when you get to this stage, you have to be careful not to get the pipette down in the mix, or you'll end up tainting the whole thing of VG with whatever flavor you're working on, and that can be a problem. Sometimes you mix fruit flavors. Sometimes you deal with tobacco. One tobacco probably wouldn't pollute another tobacco a whole lot at such small levels. But, oh, look, I just went and did what I was telling you not to. Yep. there's always another pipette in my box. We need 2 1/4, or 2.2 to be exact. There's 2, and that mark there is the half, so a little less than halfway to that will be 2.2, or pretty darn close anyway. Yay, maybe. Vegetable glycerin is thicker, produces more smoke. I like to see my smoke. When I used to do this, I really found that I was not just addicted to the nicotine, I was addicted to puffing and seeing smoke blow out when I got done. And without that, I felt like I was cheated somehow, I think. So, I like the PG, or the VG. God, I always get those backwards. Vegetable glycerin, VG. Okay, that is 1 bottle of my special mix. And you see the stuff now at this point mixes readily. And the vegetable glycerin is so thick that it's just hard to get stuff to just go right into it. It likes itself better than it likes the other things in the bottle, but you can see that it does. It's not like oil and water, even though it seemed like it might be. And there we go. That's 1 bottle of my special recipe. And I'm going to make sure it's nice and clean here. And I'm going to put a number on this. Just in case you ever want to reuse the bottle. I'm not going to put what's in this because you can reuse the bottle later and put something else in it. But this bottle is always bottle number 1 now.